Welcome to Advocate Today. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and it's time to go to Paris. The new reality series Love Trip Paris on Freeform is bringing four Americans to the French city to find love. There's a ton of romance and some heartbreak as well. I spoke with stars Caroline Renner, Lacy Hartselle, and Josielyn Aguilera about LGBTQ plus representation woven into the series, finding themselves abroad, and more. Hi, welcome. We are here with some of the cast of Love Trip Paris. We have Caroline, Josielyn, and Lacy. Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm going to go to Lacy first. I wanted to begin because this is a dating show. It takes place in Paris, this gorgeous setting. And I think it's very interesting because it's also a bit of a social experiment. And you have a mental health podcast. So
Yes.
I wondered if you would speak a little bit about what it was like for you to be a part of this and what you gleaned from the process of being in this show. And I should explain to people that it's four American girls and several French suitors that kind of revolve in and out. So, what was that like in terms of your mental health work?
Yes. So I am glad you brought that up. I mean, I'm very passionate about mental health. It's feels like it's part of who I am. I'm diagnosed bipolar, and so honestly, I would have thought before filming this kind of a show that I wouldn't have been capable to emotionally regulate for the experience because it's very unpredictable. It's very a lot of changes and unknowns, excitement. But because of the work I've put in with therapy and everything like that, and created that platform. This is temporary, which is my mental health podcast. It's been an empowering experience to see that you don't have to limit yourself, and a label or a diagnosis doesn't have to limit you. And yeah, it was cool to put all the hard work I put into myself to the test and be like, all right, can I get through this? And I leaned on my girls a lot during the show and experience because it was an overall wonderful experience. But it challenged some of the things I had been working on, as I know all of us can relate to, which we talked about and leaned on each other for throughout the whole thing. So yeah, I loved that I got to experience it and see what could come of all the hard work I've put into being stable.
Wonderful. Well, good. And Caroline, well, first I should say all three of you are queer, which is something we don't often get to see in dating shows.
Yeah.
And I think that's incredible. And Caroline, but you got attached to someone pretty quickly. And, you know, they revolve in suitors. And you had a suitor who was very interested, I'll say, from the beginning. And would you talk a little bit about the process of being well, would you talk about that process of being in the situation where you had to kind of let this person down every time you wanted to explore something new about yourself?
Yeah, so in especially lesbian culture, something that's like very well known is what's called the call moment, and you'll usually see women will like get together and just like basically get married after like 2 dates, and it was a very interesting experience. I mean, I went in with the expectation I didn't want to close anybody off, and I know that it was definitely a hard process to advocate for myself and say, hey, I'm going to try something different, especially because I never want to hurt somebody else. But overall, I think it was a good learning experience for me to like be able to say, hey, I am going to advocate for myself. I'm going to do what's best for me. I'm going to explore everything that I need to get the full experience that I came here for. There was a lot of communication, a lot of conversations. That's what I'm going to say about that one.
Well, thank you. And Josielyn, you came in saying, I've never been in a relationship before. And you were on this kind of exploration to kind of figure out what was most resonant for you. And it tripped you up a little bit along the way. I'm not going to lie. There were times when I was shouting at all of you to make different decisions. But I have the insight of being a viewer. But I was like, no, don't do that.
The full series?
Oh, I watched 6 episodes.
Tracy, you're ahead of us.
I know, yeah.
Get it, Tracy.
Oh,
Oh
well,
my
you
god.
know, I was cursing Amanda out last night because I was like, now I'm up late and I've watched this entire, whatever I was given. So,
Yeah.
but I do want to ask you, Josielyn, um, what was this like for you to do this so publicly? I mean, it's hard for anyone to be open and vulnerable. And here you are doing this with a lot of people around you and knowing that it's going to go out into the world, but also modeling what it's like for a trans queer woman to be on this journey.
I think it's I there's just so much really like there's it just means so much to me to be a queer trans journey to show that I'm just like everyone else. I deserve love and respect, and I think it's amazing to be able to show that to the world. We need
Mhm.
more queer trans representation in the world, and I'm just grateful that I got to share that, and I hope that my story will shine some light to other stories.
Absolutely.
And I think that it's just so amazing, and yes, there were so many real vulnerable moments. I really just let myself live it and be it and feel it, and I'm so grateful. You have no idea that I had my girls with me, because I know
Yeah.
I would not have survived at all. And there was just so many moments, times, I mean, that I had no idea what I was doing, like I just felt this way, and I didn't know what to do, how to act, how to react. And I'm so glad, like, we had so many deep conversations, like, especially me and Lacy and me and Caroline and Rose. It was a lot. So I'm so grateful that I had my girls. I'm so grateful that I was able to experience something new. And I'm also just so grateful that I got to share my story as a trans queer woman, and to let people see that.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it's so important. Yeah, thank you for sharing your journey with everyone. And one thing that struck me about this series, in terms of a dating show, is there, at least not with the Americans, with you all, there was no catfighting or backstabbing. I mean, what was going on with the suitors was a whole different thing. Um, but Lacy, would you touch on this friendship that formed and how you really checked in with each other? I thought that was really refreshing.
Yes, it was. I think all four of us as individuals, we didn't know what to expect going into the journey, and that was part of the excitement. Was we show up and it all just happens and it all unfolds in front of us. That is very true. And so I think we all were saying our little like manifestations and silent prayers beforehand, hoping, that we could find the friendship that we wanted to be grounded in with each other. And yeah, we all kind of had a little bit of different information, a little like, tea going in that's like, oh, you might have this, it might be this. I was like, I think there's gonna be four of us.
Mhm.
But the day of, when we all met each other, it was kind of no question. It was a blending of four very powerful energies of like, we wanted to be friends. We wanted to be there for each other. We wanted this to be a show about women supporting women, and women like uh, knowing, especially that we were dating from the same pool of people. We know how that could look. And we were
Right.
like, okay, we're going to listen to each other, validate each other. We're going to speak for our words and worth. And we repeated this a lot. Remember who the fuck you are. And
Yeah.
that's what we did. And we were reminded that of like to each other. So we held each other strong, and we shared so much love and honestly pride for one another. Like, I'm so proud of the way that we all navigated this journey and the way that we're connecting again in person finally.
I love it. I love it. Well, I just got a note from Amanda that I have to end, which it bums me out because I'm having a really nice time chatting with all of you. But thank you
Aw.
for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
watching and meeting with us.
Of course, of course. Yeah. And I may see you on Wednesday. I
Oh,
haven't,
cool.
yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
But thank you, the cast of Love Trip Paris. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Tracy.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to the queer cast members of Love Trip Paris for joining me. They're incredibly fun and I love their energy. The series is streaming now on Freeform, and you can open the Advocate Channel YouTube page for more of my full interviews with the biggest names in TV and film. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. I'll see you next time.